Eyewitness Newsmakers with Adrian Alpert.
Today on Eyewitness Newsmakers, two of LA's top cops, Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck and the Chief of Police at LA World Airport's Pat Gannon.
Airport police officers were on scene immediately.
Chief Gannon on the job a year when the first TSA officer is killed in the line of duty. Airport police were quick to respond to the deadly incident. He heads the largest independent airport police agency in the country. It works in coordination with the LAPD and has resisted merging with the larger force. We return with our next guest, Patrick Gannon, Chief of Airport Police at LA World Airports. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You have the largest airport police agency in the United States at more than 1,000. You spent 34 years at LAPD first.
Yes,
Why did you want to, after retiring, come over to another police department?
I wasn't quite ready to retire. I wasn't quite ready to stop working, and a vacancy was created at the airport, and I thought I would throw my hat in the ring and see if I could help.
So let's talk about one of the biggest things that impacts most of us who visit the airport right now, whether we're coming or going, is that there's an $8 billion worth of construction going on around the airport there. What does that do for the job of LAX police?
It actually makes our job much more difficult than it would normally. Many airports, when they do major construction projects and revamp their entire airport, move to a whole different section of their property, build it, and then move their whole facility over. We're trying to do it within an airport that is still catering to 71 million people a year. So it makes it very difficult.
And what do you tell people driving through? Just patience?
Yeah, we ask for patience. We were very active in Twitter and other places in trying to get the message out. We try to encourage people to use both the upper level roadway and the lower level roadway when they come into the airport to try to minimize the traffic. We'll get somewhere this past 4th of July weekend. We were pushing nearly 100,000 vehicles through our central terminal area each day, and trying to get people to their flights on time and to get people out of the airport and hooked up with loved ones who are picking them up can be very challenging.
We can talk about the many roles of airport police, but most recently the most notable, security, the shooting attack 2 years ago that killed a TSA officer and wounded 3 others. After that incident, there was a lot of discussion about protocol, communications. What have been, if any, the improvements since then?
Well, we're constant training to improve. Command and control was an issue that came from that shooting. The actual response of the officers to that incident and to searching out that individual, Paul Ciancia, and taking him into custody was flawless. The officers worked tremendously together to make that happen. It was in the chaos that occurs afterwards, which is common for big incidents to occur, that there was miscommunication in some cases and problems with command and control, and also with communicating with passengers in the terminals. So we've worked really, really hard to try to make sure that with our partners we're practicing virtually weekly on incidents around the airport, both with LA City Fire, Los Angeles Police Department, FBI, and all of our partners.
May 20th, a incident came into play. A fellow ran past TSA into the airport. Did any of the new policies come into play there? Well,
we had an officer right there on the spot when that occurred. The officer took immediate action. TSA supported him in that also, and we were able to take that individual into custody. It was a very good job done by the officer, and the officer was right where we had him that particular day and able to take action. So I would say yes. Our security posture at the airport is changing, will change every single day depending on the threats that are associated with it. So in that particular day, at that particular time, we were right on where we were supposed to be and able to take care of business.
Can you say now, July 4th, there were rumors, of course, about any kind of a terrorist attack? Were you on heightened alert?
We did change our deployment strategies for that particular, for that whole weekend, and we pay attention to what's going on in the rest of the world. We have great relationships with our federal partners, our intelligence gathering and intelligence apparatus that's associated with the FBI is top-notch, and so we get the latest and greatest information, and that drives how we deploy our personnel.
Chief, we have many more questions for you. We'll have more questions for Chief Patrick Gannon of the LAX Police when Eyewitness Newsmakers continues. We return with the LAX Police Chief. Chief Gannon, let me ask you this. Last year we learned about a ring of airport baggage handlers that were stealing from baggage. What has been done since then? There were a number brought in, but really very few have been charged, if any.
Yeah, nobody was actually ended up being charged. They terminated a number of people from the airport as a result of that investigation.
Why couldn't there be any charges filed out of that?
The information that we had on them and the evidence that we had, we couldn't link it to a specific victim, which is always very difficult in those cases. So even though we had recovered what we believed to be stolen property from those individuals, it was not enough evidence there to charge them. What I think is the reason why we got the right people is that the number of pilferage reports that have been filed by people who fly was reduced by over 60% this past year.
So we like to believe that our baggage is safe and secure when it's going through all those different handling belts and programs and whatnot. What, if anything, has been done to make it more secure?
Well, we went through a $48 million camera CCTV installation and modernization program. We also have increased our working in those terminals and those baggage claim areas with our undercover people. We've done a lot of things to try to get the willing cooperation of those companies that handle the baggage to police their own also.
Let me now touch on the LAX Police Union, which believes that this department is becoming too dependent on the LAPD and perhaps even notably on the investigation, the baggage handling investigation. What is your position on the police department of the Los Angeles airport, which is funded by the airport, not by LAPD at all?
Right. We're a city department funded through rates and charges that through the airport, and the airport police are funded through there. We have very qualified people that work airport police, and I think there should be always an independent airport police. Our relationship, though, with LAPD, as I call it, is like a big brother, should remain and should always be strong. In the event of an emergency at the airport that needs additional resources, we will need their help, the sheriff's help, and everybody's help in the surrounding area, so we have to keep those relationships strong.
The union likes to cite UCLA studies that says that the LAPD can have specialized units like SWAT and bomb squad remain, but that LAX police do the daily work.
Well, LAX police do the daily work. They do 99% of the daily work as it is right now. There's a very small footprint, bomb canine officers and some uniformed officers that are assigned to the airport in addition to detectives. Are those all jobs that airport police could handle? Absolutely, they could handle. But this is not just a Pat Gannon issue. It's a policy issue with the city, and this is the way that the city has decided politically that they would have both LAPD and airport police there. My job is to make that all work.
There have been, what, 6 attempts to try to combine the two into one unit or be part of LAPD. Again, your position on that would be?
I think we need an independent airport police, and I would advocate that we not combine with the Los Angeles Police Department.
Now, there's going to be a new director of LA World Airports. What is your position with her, and what do you hope that she'll be bringing to the airport?
Well, I have met her briefly, and she's starting soon, and I hope that she continues on with a lot of the things that have been started by the previous executive director. A lot of building projects going on, supporting airport police and supporting what we're trying to do to keep the airport safe and secure.
One last question. This is about a 10-second one. You used to worry about bird strikes, but now we've got drones flying everywhere. Do you do anything about that as far as?
We do worry about drones. We work with the FBI closely to ensure that any spotting or sightings are dealt with immediately.
Because the position on drones around the airport is what?
FAA has strict limitations on use of drones within 10 miles of the airport. They cannot be anywhere near where our flight patterns are.
All right, Chief Patrick Gannon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Eyewitness Newsmakers will be right back.